Okay, friends, it's Dwight. Oh, look, there's one of my paintings. So, I'm gonna walk down towards my studio here, and I wanna show you what happened to a painting that I did after I did the green one yesterday, and I'll show you, or talk to you about why it didn't work. So, if you remember, when I finished my pour yesterday, I had paints mixed for another pour with light blue, a little bit of green, and white, of course. I did a colander pour, and this is what happened. So your first thought might be, well, Dwight, you didn't thin your paints. And I'm gonna be like, yes, I did. I thinned them like I always do. But I had a subscriber a couple of weeks ago email me with this interesting perspective about Artist Loft Soft Body White. Now, I forgot his name, and if you're watching, please identify yourself in the notes below because I want to give you some credit regarding what happened. So we were sort of exchanging emails and some pictures of our soft body black, and noticed that the ones that didn't work as well had a certain SKU number on the back. And I used to think when I would get a painting like this, it was because my paints were too thick. But now what I'm realizing is that your soft body black, see that number 2022-06, and let me see, and 2022-07. Now, I gotta remember, because I think this one, 07, works better for me than the 06. So I'm gonna put that aside to make sure I use that one today and keep the others as needed. So I am gonna pour over this. I'm gonna flip it around because I don't want too much weight on that end because you can see still a bit of wet down there. Make sure it's level, mix some paints. Yeah, and we're gonna just do this again. So I apologize for my messy studio, but you know, we're artists and artists are messy. Okay guys, I'm gonna mix my paints up, and this time I'm gonna walk you through the entire process until I turn it on to the time lapse. Okay, hold on, we'll get started here in just a second. Okay guys, here we are back. I've mixed all my paints. Yeah, my studio's a mess because of I didn't clean up after yesterday because I figured I was gonna paint over this one today. So that's okay, we'll deal with it. So yeah, there's my canvas in the background there. So I'm using all these colors, and yeah, and the end here is Festive Red. These are all Dazzling Metallics by Deco Arts. Then I have White Pearl, what is that? Peacock Pearl, I believe. And then that's Ice Blue, and guess what that is? That's Citron Green. Actually, the Citron Green is just Deco Art Americana brand, but I've used it a lot in the past, and the Citron Green really seems to sell a lot. So I'm hoping how I pour this today, it shows a lot of the color of the Citron Green. And I have a little bit of the red, because red usually takes over, but I just want it speckled throughout. And we'll see what happens. Okay, I'm gonna put my camera on the stand to record this. I'm gonna talk through it. So I apologize if you can't hear me really well because I'm not gonna be right by the microphone. Okay guys, let's get started. Okay guys, here we are. So here's my canvas. The paints are all mixed. We're gonna use this large colander. I'm gonna put it about in the middle. So I like to start with white to give it sort of a bright base. So I'll just pour about half a cup. And then I'm gonna go with my ice blue, and I'm just gonna mix it in. Again, about a half a cup. And then the Citron Green. Wow, it's already reacting. I don't know if you can see that. Oops, that was a little more than half a cup. Then the Peacock Pearl, sort of a blue-green, sort of aqua. I'm gonna finish off this part of the white, have a whole nother cup of white. And I'm gonna put the red on top of this. So I know I'm gonna take the risk of having some pink but that's okay. So got some more white here. I'm gonna do about half a cup. I'm gonna finish it off with the blue Citron green. The peacock pearl on top of that. And then last but not least, the rest of the white. Okay, so here comes a moment of truth. This part always makes me nervous when we get ready to do the actual pour. I move it around like this because there's still some paint on the bottom of the colander. Okay, guys. Okay. And now the black paint. I've said before, I pour it slowly, so not so much of the paint underneath disperses. In other words, I don't want to have a black hole in this that's half the size of the canvas. Okie doke. We have plenty of paint on the canvas. And I really thinned the black paint this time because I had trouble with that yesterday. Fingers crossed, excuse me, it works today. Okay, so I'm just gonna go over the edge. I'm not gonna do a swirl. Bring it down over the opposite edge. This is just my preference. Bring it down over this side. And then all the way down. All the way. Okay. Bring it back and place it down. Okie dokie. Now there's a lot of stuff happening. Remember, I move it back and forth a little bit to get the cells to pop, the bubbles to pop so the cells come through. Okay, so let me dry my hands. And we're gonna start torching. Here comes the color. All right. I don't know if you see right there, the Citron green. Oh boy, this is gonna be beautiful, I think. Fingers crossed. So what I like to do is just sit for a minute or two, pop the bubbles with my heat gun. Okay, now I'm just going to clean up and I'm going to put it on time lapse, and we will come back and check on this in about 40 minutes or so, 45 minutes or so. Fingers crossed it keeps developing like it is, and we have a beautiful painting with a beautiful composition. Okay guys, we'll see you in a little bit. Okay friends, here we are back with the final wet results. And look at the Citron green. It's interesting how it sort of stayed around the negative space. The negative space is very faint, which is nice. I'm kind of surprised at the other cells, the metallics. Look how small they are compared to the Citron green. I mean, they're pretty. I mean, look at that. There's a lot of interest in there. But I'm kind of surprised how small they are. And these cells are quite big, but I don't think they're going to get any bigger. I think it works well because you've got all of this interest around the negative space, and then the Citron green just really pulls you in because the Citron green has a very nice look to it. Oh, I'm so sorry for the glare, guys. Now I will go into the negative space and probably clear some of that up. Just some of these maybe right through here. We'll see. We'll see how it dries. And that's kind of a cool look too. Look at that. What do you think? You like it like that? Okay, that's enough for today. It's Monday. I won't get back to my studio probably till this weekend. And we'll see what kind of fun and shenanigans I can get into. Okay, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you have a great start to the week, and we'll see you real soon.